Yo, I have today's video is going to be a little bit different. I have two things that I really want to share with you that honestly changed my life and changed, well, yeah. Anyway, I spent most of this morning rewatching some of my old videos of when I was like, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago. Um, and also today's December 1st. Just get it in there. Um, and then we're at Frisco, Colorado. Anyway, the first thing, honestly, is probably I could attribute a lot of my finding my passion and pursuing my interests to this. And I struggled a lot with. I have some of my notes here that I've been going through the past couple weeks. Um, I struggled a lot with working in the evenings. I had always been an evening person and like never a morning person. I was never a morning person. I would always like even in high school I'd stay up late and like that was like my focus time. But it wasn't until after I graduated college and started working that I kept running into these uphill battles of trying to work on personal things, personal goals at like 7, 8, 9 p.m. And I would always struggle with it. I think I'll try and edit one of the videos that I found talking about this exact moment.
I have decided to not do anything. It's like 8:15. Finished at like 7:15, 7:30. And I was like, "Oh wow, I have some time." And I was like, I could play the Outer Wilds DLC that I bought, but I feel like I want more time than just an hour. So maybe I'll do that on the weekend. So then I was like, kind of don't feel like watching YouTube for like the rest of the night. So I went on my computer, did some budgeting. But then I was like, I don't really know what else I want to do. So I was like, why don't I just keep watching YouTube? Keep burning down my watch later list. So that's what I'm doing. Trying to be guilt free. But part of me is not satisfied, not happy, like with this idea that I did work this morning. I did stuff this morning, that's true. But this idea of like waiting for something, like I feel like I should be working on something or something like that, you know? This It's almost like I'm waiting for the weekend, and I hate that mentality. But I think I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go to a coffee shop and get some focus time in. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. So I guess I'm just chilling tonight. But that's what's up.
I'm getting a little nervous here. I'm trying to like plan out this video. Anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in, but um, yeah. So I forget where I heard it from, but one of the biggest things that I implemented to fix this, and it sounds so simple, but I stopped or I shifted when I started working on my personal things from the evenings to the morning. So I used to wake up at like, I don't know, 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. and start work at 9. And I started waking up a couple hours earlier till 6:30 a.m. Every day. And I would do my work on personal stuff in the mornings. And I found that so much more valuable and useful because I had the mental space and focus and energy to actually think and work. And then, you know, I would, by the end of the day, I would have already achieved what I wanted to achieve. And so, uh, you know, the evenings would just be like, I wouldn't get anything done in the evenings anyway. Um, but the point was, I got what I wanted to get done in the morning before I had done anything else, before I'd worked at my job. And I just found that working in the evenings was just this uphill battle of like, my brain is fried. I have no focus left. So yeah, that was one of the things. That was number one. Number two is, I frequently saw, I kept saying like, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. Like, I know what I should be doing, or I know what I like want to be doing, but I just don't feel like doing anything.
Just thought I'd check in. I after my one-on-one with my manager at 2:30, I went to the couch, watched some YouTube videos, and haven't moved since. It is currently 3:06, and it's just like my head is not throbbing. My stomach still doesn't feel fantastic. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like this blanket of heaviness and just like complexity over my mind. And I thinking about doing anything is quite difficult. Or the thought about doing anything is difficult. So, attempting to keep a positive mind, but it's not really working. Because I just don't feel like I have an escape. You know, it's like I could go on a walk, or like, what would I normally do? Like, put on music. I tried that earlier. Go on a walk, go on a bike ride, go on a run or something. But part of me is just like, I don't feel like doing that. So, anyway, we'll get through it eventually.
This was a symptom of a deeper problem. And that problem is the amount of dopamine that I was getting, particularly from external sources, particularly from social media. I spent so much time watching YouTube shorts, TikTok. I started doing it in the mornings. This was, I don't know, spring. And I was thinking about this earlier. I think what I would tell myself, this is all just a message to my past self who's in this situation. What you need to understand is that working, you will get dopamine from working on something that you value. Specifically, when you make incremental progress towards a goal, towards something that you value, your brain gives you dopamine. So if I were to like use some analogy or like break this down into like more concrete terms, you can imagine, like, let's say you have some goal that's like, you know, I want to write, 1,000 words or whatever, some arbitrary goal. If you set that as a goal and you write 100 words, your brain will give you dopamine. Let's call it like 10 units of dopamine. You will get that dopamine. But the problem is, what I was doing was drowning that in social media and instant gratification. And the problem is, scrolling TikTok, especially Instagram, YouTube, gives you so much more dopamine than work does. Let's call it like 100 units. So why would you spend, just like logically, why would you spend the time to get 10 units of dopamine when you could, which takes hard work and actual thinking and effort, when you could do nothing and get 100 units of dopamine? But the thing is, the 10 units of dopamine, the moving towards the goal that you value, the delayed gratification, you're building something. You're creating something. Whereas when you're scrolling social media, there were so many times when I just finished scrolling social media and like, you don't I didn't feel productive. I didn't feel good after those like 9 p.m. nights of like, you finally feel just so uncomfortable. It's like, I that instant gratification, that 100 units of dopamine doesn't move me towards my goals. And so if you cut that 100 units of dopamine out, the 10 units becomes substantial. And this is something that I've realized this past summer, is like, I've started to enjoy the process of working and the flow of working. And because I've limited the amount of content I'm consuming online from, well, TikTok, social, or Instagram, like completely, I'm not getting those dopamine hits from that. And so that 10 units is just so much more meaningful and substantial. And I wish my past self would understand this, that you can enjoy the process of working. And I had little bits of it, but I just constantly drowned it out with this instant gratification. Whoops. So anyway, I think that if you need something concrete as a takeaway from this, and if I were to give my past self a concrete task, it would be to do a dopamine detox for like 2 weeks, a week. Just stop. And I started to do this eventually, but stop watching so much YouTube. Stop watching so much. There's nothing valuable that you get out of these short form content. Nothing. It just destroys your ability to focus. Let me see if there's anything else I have. So here's another thing. What I've been doing lately is my morning routine on these like work coffee shop days is, as soon as I wake up, I will look at my phone. I will briefly look at the notifications, and this actually reminds me of something else. I've found so much value out of continually unsubscribing and filtering my notifications. Just like, get rid of all of the ones that aren't value, all this like marketing spam and whatever. Just unsubscribe from all of it. So I'll wake up, I'll immediately look at my phone. I look at the notifications briefly for like 5 seconds just to see if anything's like on fire that I need to respond like immediately. And then right after that, I'll throw my phone on do not disturb, and typically 90% of the days I won't take my phone off do not disturb until about noon. So from when I wake up at 6:30 until noon, my phone is on Do Not Disturb, and I'm getting 0 notifications. And the rest of that time, um, this morning I did a little walk, and then I went to coffee shop, and then I've talked about my productivity routine, but I'll go over it again. Basically, open up my laptop, go to my Obsidian Vault. I'll set a timer for 10 minutes to like warm up my brain. Do 10 minutes of what I call gardening, just going through random notes in my vault, reading them, reading the context, see if I can link anything. It just helps my brain get warmed up for the day and get kind of like in my mindset. I'll do 5 minutes of gratitude journaling. So just open up a new note, set a timer for 5 minutes, write I'm grateful for, and then just whatever comes after that. I'm grateful for my laptop, the sunshine, my health, to be able to ski, all of this stuff. And then I'll go back through, spend a couple minutes going back through all of the things that I'm reminding myself to do, reminding myself of like takeaways from books, of my goals, my affirmations, systems, stuff like that. And then I'll set a timer. This morning I set a timer for 90 minutes, and I worked on it's just such a waste. I've been working on this, transcribing this video from Alex Hormozy, 14 life lessons, and I don't like how it turned out. So I ended up scrapping it. It didn't. I was trying to balance, like, do I post it anyway, to value just consistency, but at the same time I was like, there's just not any like substance to this. This is not that like his video is bad. It was my, like, what's my spin on all of this? What are my takeaways? How am I applying this? And I just wasn't good. Anyway, I worked on that, and then I started going back through old videos and working on detailing like what I would say in this video, and trying like what are the problems that I had faced and that I actually recorded. And then I spent another, 90 minutes continuing to work on this offer. And then by noon, it's 1:45 right now, so I worked past noon. By noon, that's when I throw my phone off Do Not Disturb. And let me tell you, the amount of focus that I've had from doing that is incredible. Because you're not getting bombarded with these like, oh, the other day I went on Twitter, and I just opened up my homepage, and it's just like, holy cow, when you've gotten off of consuming social media, mostly. To be honest, I still watch a lot of YouTube, but just like, the emotionally charged content, and like I think my Twitter feed is pretty good, and pretty positive, but it's just like 7 reasons why you're not growing as a business, and like, are you using these 3 tips for life? Like, it's just like, holy cow. Oh man. So anyway, I found actually working to be that much more valuable, and those 10 units of dopamine that I get is like, it feels good. It feels good. And yeah, my past self, that, like, when I'm just drowning it in the hundreds of dopamine units that I'm making up from scrolling social media in the morning, at night, there was no chance. There was no chance I would make any meaningful progress. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. It's a long kind of rant video. I've been thinking a lot more about trying to balance between wanting to provide more specific content, specific advice, specific value, and practicing my storytelling and influence, persuasion, stuff like that. Trying to balance that with my original goal for these daily V's of just being consistent and kind of improving it. So anyway, today was an experiment. It's hard. It's hard to. I basically didn't plan any of this. I mean, I have notes, but like they're not script notes for a video. So yeah, but I mean, I'm sure I'll get better at it over time. But each one of these, little moments helps me move forward one step at a time. Anyway, gonna eat some lunch and probably go to the library, do some reading. So anyway, nice little work day in Frisco. Supposed to get some snow tonight, tomorrow. So I'll probably be back on the slopes tomorrow. But yeah, see ya. Bye.